Hey everyone! Okay, so first of all, my sincerest of apologies to everybody who subscribed to me purely for the Doctor Who videos. I used to do them like every week, every second day even, I do like 3 or 4 Doctor Who based videos a week. And I know a lot of you like them because I know a lot of you are Doctor Who fans. And it turns out I haven't done one in about a month, which is actually longer than I thought. I thought it'd only been a couple of weeks. But no, it's been about a month, so my apologies for that. Mainly it's because my internet has been playing up. I go on and then I won't be on for 4 days because it won't be working. So I haven't really had, it's not that I haven't had the time, because I've had the time, but my internet just hasn't allowed me to do that. So hopefully now my internet is working, I'll get at least one Doctor Who video a week. You guys had said that you suggested that I maybe do an episode review, like review each episode in turn, so that's what I've been doing. I'm now on to episode 6 of the first series, and you guys know that I love the first series. I never fault it. I'm always praising the episodes and praising it for what it is and the actors and everything, until now. Now don't get me wrong, before I start talking about this episode, which is of course Dalek, hello Hilda, I do like it. Don't get me wrong, I don't sit and watch it thinking this is a load of rubbish, because I do enjoy it. Just out of all of the episodes, this one is the one that I kind of enjoyed the least. I just didn't think it was that engaging. I'll talk about more why I don't like it once I've explained the plot and things. But this aired on the 30th of April 2005, so we're talking 5 years ago now. And I've said this in my other Doctor Who videos, it does not seem like it's been 5 years since the show came back. Or for new fans like me, it doesn't seem like it's been 5 years since we first discovered the show. But it has been, and it's sort of, it seems like such a long time ago. Yeah, it seems like yesterday. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't watch this episode when it first aired, because you guys know that I didn't start watching it until Christmas 2005, when David took over. So when I sort of backlogged and finally watched this episode, I was like, I'd watched like the whole of the first series in one go basically, so I was sort of getting used to everything straight away, and by this point I'd been sitting down for hours, like over the course of a few days, and I was like, okay, I know what's going on. Everything was fantastic at this point, and then I get this episode and I'm like, oh dear, I hope this isn't a reflection on what is to come in the rest of the series. So basically, the Doctor and Rose land in what I think was 2012, in a museum in Utah. And there's a Dalek in the basement. But obviously, Rose finds the Dalek, and Rose doesn't know what a Dalek is at this point. This is the first time the Daleks have been introduced in the series. I think the first time they've actually been mentioned. I could be wrong with that. But Rose talks to this Dalek, and she feels sorry for this Dalek. It's one single lonely Dalek chained up. And I mean, who wouldn't feel sorry for the Dalek? It's you can see it crying inside, and it looks so harmless, and so you just feel sorry for it, and you want to hug it. I'd love to hug a Dalek. Wouldn't that be amazing? But anyway, she tells the Doctor and everything, and the Dalek sort of escapes, and it goes on a killing rampage, and it wants to exterminate everything in its path. It's not this sweet little creature anymore. We see the Dalek for what it truly is, which of course, when you were a first-time fan like myself, because obviously I know Doctor Who has a massive fan base from like way back, and when you don't know what the Daleks are, this is incredibly creepy. And the fact that there's one scene which really creeped me out a bit. Obviously I'm over it now because I know it happens, but like the scene with the staircase where they're like, it's okay, the Daleks can't get upstairs, and then the Dalek starts to hover and it goes up the stairs. That bit I really liked. And in fact, that was probably the highlight from the episode. But for me, I think that it wasn't scary enough. The Daleks have changed so much since then. Obviously, this is one Dalek, so it's not going to be as threatening as an entire fleet of Daleks. But I just don't think I don't think the pace was quick enough. I don't think there was enough. Sometimes episodes just stuff the episode with fluff and just make it, just to pad it out to make it longer. Whereas I think this episode has done the opposite. I think this is quite an empty episode. There's not that much going on, not that much to get your head around. Which, fair enough, it is a family show, so there are a younger audience, so it needs to be understandable. But when you look at episodes that are more recent, where there's so much going on and so much information to take in and so much to absorb, in comparison, this episode is quite light and empty. On its own, like I said, it's not a bad episode. You can watch it. It is enjoyable. But when you compare it to other episodes, it is quite low down there in the scale. But either way, do watch it because it is a good episode. It was directed by Joe Ahearne, who is a name that I'm not familiar with. I was supposed to check if they directed any more of the episodes, but I didn't. But I know I haven't mentioned them yet, and I know they haven't done any of the recent episodes that I paid attention to. It was also written by Robert Shearman, who again, it's not a name that I'm familiar with, so it automatically makes me think, I wonder if the production team for this was slightly different to the episodes I really, really like. Obviously for me the best written episodes are the ones by Russell T Davies. It's just a name I love, and it's just a name that's always going to be for the show for me. You know, if you say to me, who's the greatest writer, Russell T Davies. Sorry, my cat is pestering me. Come on. She's in season just now, so she won't stop meowing. Obviously fantastic. The cast itself was lovely. You've got Billie as Rose, who you all know I adore, and Chris Eccleston is the 9th Doctor. And I think by this point you've fallen in love with the Doctor. If you haven't, there's something wrong, because he is just absolutely gorgeous. And also Bruno Langley. I was really happy to see him in this. He played Todd in Coronation Street, so when I saw him I was like, oh my god, it's Todd! And obviously he sticks with the show for a couple of more episodes, which obviously I will talk about in the next one, which I think is The Long Game. I don't know, yeah, I think it's The Long Game. So that was lovely to see him in there. And sorry, the cat is rubbing herself up and down my bag. But yeah, like I said, it's a good episode in itself, but when you compare it, it's not that good. But do go and watch it if you haven't seen it. I will be surprised if people haven't seen it, because it's one that's on quite a lot. It is a lovely episode in itself. Although the thing, what really gets me is the fact that I always call this the Lone Dalek. Anybody, let me know if you do that as well, because the Dalek itself is known as the Lone Dalek, but the episode is just called Dalek. So I've always just called it by its title, The Lone Dalek, until yesterday when I realised, hang on, it's not The Lone Dalek, it's Dalek. Feel free to leave me a comment below if you ever called it The Lone Dalek too. I hope I'm not alone in this. But this is just all I want to say about this episode just now. Like I said, I will try and do more Doctor Who videos, at least one a week if I can. Unfortunately, or well, fortunately, TV is churning out a lot of amazing shows just now, so I sort of have a lot of current shows to talk about, which sort of puts a stump on my nostalgia series and my Doctor Who videos. But hopefully TV will start to slow down with their good shows, because I'm struggling to keep up with it all. And I can get on with doing more Doctor Who ones as well. But if you have any requests for any shows that isn't Doctor Who or nostalgia, feel free to leave comments or message me or email me. I have a new email address, or well, it's not a new email address, but it's a new email address I'm using, amy@amymclean.co.uk. You can email me there as well, which a few people have done. But yeah, so feel free to leave comments and things, and I will see you next time. Bye guys. Sorry, this cat is so off-putting. Let's try that again. Bye guys. Cat bum. Lovely.